Okay, now I'm going to show you the other type of, the other way to ice a cookie I promised I'd show you other than using a paintbrush. You can use decorator bags and tips. You need to make your icing slightly runny for this. It needs to be slowly running out of the bag without you putting any pressure on it in order to work. Okay, and keep a wet rag on hand to wipe off the tip before you use it, because you always want to start with a clean tip. Okay, so these cookies have been pre-iced in white, so I'm just going to show you on the ears how you would do this. And yes, you can do this on a whole cookie if you choose. You just outline with your tip the area that you're going to color. In this case, the inside of Mr. Bunny's ears. And then you just go back and zigzag and fill in that area. And the original line will start to set up almost immediately, and it will act as a dam to hold in your other icing. Now this icing is self-leveling, and that's why it needs to be slightly runny, because even though it is self-leveling, if it's too thick, you will be able to see your zigzag stripes in your icing. If it's thin enough, the icing will automatically smooth itself out, and you'll get a nice, flat, shiny surface. Now I'm also going to use this to make my bunny's nose. I'm going to make him a little heart nose. And in painting class, we used to call these Dolly Parton hearts, and I won't explain to you why that is, but you make 2 dots with your icing. You'll probably be able to figure it out on your own, and then just pull from the center down without squeezing any more icing out. Just use the end of your tip to pull it down, and there you have a little heart, and that will be Mr. Bunny's nose. I can also, while I've got the pink in my hand, let me set that aside and show you on this egg. Another thing that you can do when you're decorating, your bottom surface must be dry, but you can take your icing tip, and on top of your bottom icing that's already set up, this has been sitting probably about 30 minutes. You can pipe in your design. Now while this is still wet, I can also choose to add colored sugar for added dimension and to give a different look. Simply take your sanding sugars, they're called, sprinkle it over, and it will not stick to the icing that's already dry. I'll let that sit for just 1 second, and then I grab a soft brush and I can brush away the excess. Now, like I said, this has only been setting up for about 30 minutes, and it's raining today, so it's quite humid around here, so it's sticking a little bit more than it normally would. And if I let it sit for a few more minutes, I'll be able to brush that right off. But you can get the idea. Then after you have done that, you can come back with another color, or even the same color if you want, and add more stripes or zigzags or any design you choose. And you can leave them plain. Here, let it sit a little long. Like I said, the icing tends to crust over a little bit quickly, so that at the end of my tip is already crusted. There we go. Just need to get it going again and then wipe it off. There we go. Now you can add more stripes. You can add dots. Anything you want. And then you can just leave those plain, or you can add more sanding sugar. Or if you really want to get time consuming, you can use dragées. I happen to have some silver ones here. And a pair of tweezers. Now, I promise these tweezers have only ever been used for cookies. They were bought for this purpose. I have never used them to pull splinters or eyebrows. This way, you see, you can place them exactly where you want them. You must do this while the icing is wet. You can see here, now that I've got a little icing on there, it sticks to the end all by itself. and I can just place it where I want. And there you go.